Good afternoon, everybody. So today we will be studying chapter 2. So the different existential sentences. Okay. So in this chapter, these different patterns have been divided into two. So we have the wa ni pattern and the ni ga pattern. Okay. So before we begin, let's try to review. Let's go back to the first sentence pattern that you learned in your chapter 1 copula sentences. So we have the a, wa, pides. Okay? So that's very important, okay? Because it's very similar to the patterns we will be learning today. Similar but not the same, okay? So let's look at the differences. So our first existential sentence pattern is A wa B ni arimasu. Okay? So let's break it down. So we have your A, which is your topic. Then we have your topic marker, which is wa. And then we have your location, which is found on B. And then we have your new marker, okay, marker ni, which is your locative marker. And then we have your verb of existence, arimas. Okay, so in English, that's A is in B. Let's look at the examples. So we have the pattern, A wa, B ni arimas. Okay, so we have here, kuruma wa chushajo ni arimasu. So kuruma, car, chushajo, parking lot, ni arimasu. So the car is in the parking lot. Okay. Next example. A wa B ni arimasu. So we have here ginko wa asoko ni arimasu. So we have here the subject, ginko, bank, then the location, asoko, over there, the locative marker, which is ni, then we have the verb of existence, arimasu. So the bank is over there. Okay. Following so far, guys? Okay, so let's look at more examples in your book. Okay, very good, everybody. So now that you know how to make positive sentences, positive existential sentences, now let's learn how to make the negative ones. Okay, so again, we have your eiwa, bini, arimas. Okay, so the second pattern, the only difference is you change mas to masen. So arimas becomes arimasen if you want to make it in the negative. Okay, so we have here A B ni arimasen. Okay, so A, again, your topic marker wa, your location, your locative marker ni, and then your verb of existence, arimasen, which is now in the negative. So in English, A is not in B. Okay, let's look at your examples. So A wa B ni arimasen. Okay, so kuruma wa chushajo ni arimasen. Okay, so the car, okay, kuruma, chushajo, parking lot, ni arimasen. So the car is not in the parking lot. Okay, next example. Keitai wa kaban ni arimasen. Okay, so we have here keitai, mobile phone, cell phone, then kaban, bag, then arimasen. So in English, the sentence means the cell phone is not in the bag. Okay? Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Okay, very good. Now let's go or let's look at your textbook and read the different rebun. Okay, now that you have learned how to make the positive and the negative sentences, now you will learn how to make the interrogative sentences. So similar to how you create interrogative sentences, the one you learned in chapter 1. So more or less it's the same. You just have to add the interrogative marker ka at the end of your sentence. So we have here A wa B ni arimasu ka? Okay. So in English, is A in B? Okay. So we have here an example. Is your key in your bag? Okay. So let's break it down further. So kagi wa kaban ni arimasu ka? So kagi meaning key, then kaban your bag, ni arimasu ka? So Is the key in the bag? Okay, is the key in the bag? So you have here two possible responses. Hai, kagi wa kaban ni arimasu. So here you remove the interrogative marker ka because you are answering already, not asking. Then the negative, if it's a negative answer, you have iie, kagi wa kaban ni arimasen. Okay. Then again, similar to our chapter 1, if you notice, there is an the topic is enclosed in an open and closed parenthesis, meaning yes, very good. So you can remove the A part already and just go directly or go direct to your answer. So it can be hai kaba ni arimasu or iie kaba ni arimasen. Okay. Hi. Let's look at another way of asking or making your interrogative sentences. Okay, so remember that you can also use interrogative nouns. Okay, so in this example, let's look at it. So, ketai wa doko ni arimasu ka? So again, ketai, your mobile phone, cell phone, then doko ni arimasu ka? So do you remember what doko means? Yes, so doko means where. So remember, you put your interrogative nouns in the B part. Okay, so in English, the sentence is asking, where is the cell phone? Okay, so in the answer, ketai wa tsukue ni arimasu. Okay, so the cell phone, okay, is on the desk. Okay, hi. Okay, let's go to your textbook and look at the examples. Okay, very good, everybody. Okay, now, since we are done with arimas, okay, again, when do we use arimas? Hi, very good. We only use arimas for non-moving or non-living things. How about for the opposite? Okay, so for what's the opposite of non-living things? Of course, living things. Okay, so for that, we use a different verb of existence. Okay, so please look at the shared file with you. So we have here sensei wa kyoshitsu ni imasu. Okay, so again, for non-moving and non-living things, we use arimasu. For living things, we use the verb of existence imasu. Okay, and the pattern is still the same. So A, marker wa, so topic marker wa, location, locative marker ni, then imasu. Okay, so A is in B. Let's look at the examples. So A wa B ni imasu. So gakusei wa honya ni imasu. So gakusei, student, honya, bookstore, ni imasu. So the students are in the bookstore. Let's look at the next example. Okay. Okay, for the other examples, let's go to your textbook, guys. Hi, very good, everybody. So now, again, so that was for your positive, okay? How about for the negative, okay? So it's simple as well. So you just follow the base pattern. So again, A, wa, B, ni, then you change mas to masen. So imas, okay, is the positive. Then if you want to make it the negative, it becomes imasen. Okay, so let's look here. Sensei wa kyoshitsu ni imasen. So the teacher is not in the classroom. So A is not in B. Wakarimasu ka? Okay, let's look at the examples. So again, we have your pattern. A wa B ni imasen. Okay, so shacho wa Philippine ni imasen. Let's break it down. So shacho, company president. Philippine, the name of our country, Philippines. Locative marker ni, then imasen. So in English, the company president is not in the Philippines. Okay? Okay, let's go to your textbook and read the Reibun. Okay, very good, everybody. So now, again, okay, how do we make it an interrogative sentence? So, simple as adding the interrogative marker ka at the end again. Okay, so we have here A, topic marker wa, B, locative marker ni, then imasu ka. So remember, your interrogative marker ka goes at the end. So it can be translated as is A in B? So we have here the sample question. Is Anna in the room? So in Japanese, it's read as Ana-san wa heya ni imasu ka? So we have your topic, Ana-san. Then we have your location, heya, room. Then ni imasu ka? So is Anna in the room? So again, two possible answers, either in the positive or the negative. If it's positive, hai, Ana-san wa heya ni imasu. If it's in the negative, ie, Ana-san wa heya ni imasen. And remember, you can choose to omit or remove Ana-san wa. Okay? Okay. So another way of creating your interrogative sentences is again using your interrogative nouns. Okay? So here you place or where in the sample sentence we have here sensei wa doko ni imasu ka? So sensei, your teacher, doko, your interrogative noun for where, then ni imasu ka? So where is the teacher or where is your teacher? So the answer, sensei wa kyoshitsu ni imasu. So the teacher is in the classroom or my teacher is in the classroom. Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Do you understand? Okay, let's go to your textbook and read the ribbon. Okay, very good, everybody. So now, let's continue with our existential sentences, okay? Okay, but before we continue with our patterns, let's look at the verb clusters, the new verb clusters that you will have to study. So we have the different locatives, okay? So as you can see here, we have, okay, so we have ue, shita, mae, ushiro, naka, soto, aida, migi, hidari, chikaku, tonari, soba, yoko, muko. Then we have kita, minami, higashi, and nishi. Okay, so we know that it's quite a lot to memorize. So to help you memorize these, we suggest that you study them in pairs. So what do we mean by pairs? So for example, we have here ue and shita. So they are the opposite of each other. So ue, you have the ball above or on top. Then shita, you have below. Next, we have mae and ushiro. So in front and behind or back. Then we have naka, soto. So naka is inside, soto outside. Then we have, of course, hidari, left, migi, right. Okay? So it's a good way of studying because you are studying the opposites of the words. Okay? So it's going to be a lot much easier to remember them if you study them by pairs. And you can also study them by groups. What do we mean by groups? We have here the 4 directions. So we have north, kita. We have nishi, okay, west. We have higashi, east. And then we have your minami, south. Okay? Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Okay. So, how do we use these locatives? Okay? So, we will be using this new pattern. Okay? So, we have here A, then we have the marker no, then B. Okay? So, in A, you put here the main location. And B, you put the specific location. So, let's look here. So, inside the bag. So inside is your specific location, then bag is your main location. So in English, the specific location can be found at the beginning, but in Japanese, it's the opposite. Okay, so the specific location is at the second one or at the last one. Okay, so let's look at the example. So kaban no naka. Kaban no naka. So kaban is bag, then naka is inside. So bag inside. So inside the bag. So remember, main location first, marker no, then the specific location or the locative. Next example. On top of the desk. So your main location is the desk. So tsukue no. Then on top, specific location, ue. Okay? Okay, let's look at the examples on your book. Rebun o yomimashou. Okay, very good. So now that we're done with the locatives, now we move on to the second part of the existential sentences. So in the first part, you learned our first existential sentence pattern, A wa location ni arimasu. Okay, so wa ni pattern. Okay, so A is in B. So that pattern focuses on the location. So now we will be studying the ni ga pattern. Okay, so let's start. So we have here your location. Okay, then we have your marker ni. Then we have your A or your topic or your subject. Then we have your new marker, marker ga. Then your verb of existence, arimasu. Okay, so you in this pattern, okay, focuses on the topic or subject. Okay, so we have here, there is A in that location. So let's look at the examples so you can further understand the new pattern. So we have here, A ni B ga arimasu. Okay, so we have here, chushajo ni kuruma ga arimasu. So what's chushajo again, minasan? Yes, okay. Parking lot. Then kuruma is car. Okay. So we have, there are cars in the parking lot. Okay. Let's look at the next example. So again, location ni A ga arimasu. So we have here, kaban ni ketai ga arimasu. So kaban for bag, ketai, mobile phone or cell phone, ga arimasu. So there is a cell phone in the bag. Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Okay, let's go to your textbook. Rebo no yomimashou. Okay, very good. So again, now that we're done with the positive, now let's learn how to, make the negative counterpart. So again, all you have to do is follow the same pattern, but of course you have to change mas into masen to make it negative. So again, we have the pattern, location ni A ga arimasen. So the example sentence, chushajo ni kuruma ga arimasen. So chushajo, parking lot, kuruma, car ga arimasen. So there are no cars in the parking lot. Okay? Another example. So location ni A ga arimasen. Kaban ni ketai ga arimasen. So kaban for bag, ketai, mobile phone or cell phone. So there is no phone or there is no cell phone in the bag. Okay? Okay, let's look at your textbook for the sample sentences. Rebu no yomimashou. Okay, very good. Now, similar to the first pattern, the wani pattern, using the niga pattern, you can also make interrogative sentences. Okay? So, again, for you to be able to make interrogative sentences, you just have to put the interrogative marker ka at the end of your sentence. So we have here, location ni A ga arimasu ka? So for example, is there A in location? Is there a notebook in your bag? Okay, so let's look at it in Japanese. So, kaban ni, so following the pattern, so location first, kaban ni noto ga arimasu ka? So kaban, you have your bag. Noto, notebook ga arimasu ka? So is there a notebook in your bag? So two ways, two possible answers. So positive or negative. Positive, hai, kaban ni noto ga arimasu. Then negative, iie, kaban ni noto ga arimasen. So again, you can choose to omit your location. So kaban ni can be removed. So you can just say hai noto ga arimasu or iie noto ga arimasen. Okay? So another way of asking is replacing the B part with your interrogative nouns. Okay? So here we have heya ni nani ga arimasu ka? Heya ni nani ga arimasu ka? So remember, the interrogative noun should always be put in the B part of your sentence. So, heya ni isu ga arimasu. Okay? So in the question, heya ni nani ga arimasu ka is asking what is in the room. So The answer is Heya ni isu ga arimasu. So heya for room, isu is the word for chair. So isu ga arimasu. So meaning there is a chair in the room. Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Hai, yoku dekimashita. Now let's go to your book and read the sample sentences. Rebu no yomimashou. Okay, very good. So similar to part 1, using the wani pattern, we had arimas and imas. So using the ni ga pattern, so we're done with arimas. So we also have imas for our living things. Okay, so similar pattern, location ni e ga. The only difference is the verb of existence. We use imas for living things. Very good. So let's look at the example. Kyoshitsu ni gakusei ga imasu. So kyoshitsu again is classroom. Then gakusei, student. So there are students in the classroom. Okay? Your focus is on the students. Okay? Next. Okay, so location ni e ga imasu. So office ni shain ga imasu. So office. Shain, employee ga imasu. Okay? So there are employees in the office. Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Very good. Now let's go to your textbook. Please read the sample sentences. Okay, very good, everybody. Now, again, so you're done with making the positive sentences. And of course, there are the negative counterparts, okay? So again, for you to be able to make imas into the negative, you just replace mas with masen. So imas becomes, yes, very good, imasen. So location ni eiga imasen. So let's look at the example. Kyoshitsu ni gakusei ga imasen. Okay, so kyoshitsu, classroom, gakusei, we have your students, ga imasen. So there are no students in the classroom. Okay, let's look at another example. So, office ni shain ga imasen. So again, office, shain, employee. So in English, there are no employees in the office. Wakarimasu ka? Very good. Let's go to your textbook. Rebu no yomimashou. Okay, very good, everybody. Okay, then, okay, so we've been doing this a couple of times now. Of course, you can also make interrogative sentences using the NIGA pattern. How do you do it? Again, you just have to add the interrogative marker at the end, which is ka. So, location ni e ga imasu ka? Okay. So, is A in location? Is the teacher in the classroom? So, kyoshitsu ni sensei ga imasu ka? So, again, kyoshitsu is classroom. Sensei, teacher. So, is the teacher in the classroom? So again, two possible responses, either in the positive or the negative. Okay, so it's either hai, kyoshitsu ni sensei ga imasu, or iie, kyoshitsu ni sensei ga imasen. Remember, you can omit the location here. So kyoshitsu ni can be removed. So your possible answers or possible short answers can be hai, sensei ga imasu, or iie, sensei ga imasen. Okay, then remember, you can also use interrogative nouns. So in this case, since we are using the verb of existence, okay, imas, we can use dare. Okay, so we have here office ni dare ga imasu ka. So remember, your interrogative nouns is found on your B part. Okay, so office, office, dare, who. Okay, so the question is asking who is in the office. Okay, so the answer, office ni shain ga imasu. So there are company employees or employees in the office. You can also again omit the location. So you can just say shain ga imasu. Wakarimasu ka, minasan? Okay, let's look at your textbook and read the sample sentences. Okay, very good, everybody. Okay, so now let's do a summary, or let's summarize all of the grammar patterns you have learned for your chapter 2. So your existential sentences. Okay, so in the first part, so we use the wani pattern. Okay, so for the wani pattern, so let's first discuss arimas. So again, we use the verb of existence arimas for, yes, non-living things or non-moving objects. Okay, so for the first pattern, we have the wani pattern. Okay, so remember, you have your A, topic marker wa, location, locative marker ni, then arimas. Okay, for your positive. Then, if you want to make interrogative sentences, okay, just remember, in place of the location, you can use the interrogative noun, doko. Doko ni arimasu ka? Then, don't forget your interrogative marker ka at the end. Okay? Then, what's the negative counterpart of arimasu? Yes, arimasen. So, you change mas into masen. Okay? So, for the second pattern, the niga pattern, okay, so we have location, locative marker ni, noun ga, so we have your new marker ga, then arimas. So same if you want to make it the negative, so you change mas into masen, so it becomes ga arimasen. Then, if you want to make an interrogative sentence, okay, you use the interrogative noun nani instead of doko. So nani ga arimasu ka? So here you can see the difference of the two patterns. So for the wani pattern, okay, so it's focused on the location of your subject. But the niga pattern, okay, so it's focused on the actual object that exists. Okay? Wakarimasu ka? Okay, very good. Next, okay, now for your imas. So again, we have your wani pattern using the verb of existence imas. When do we use imas? Yes, for living things only. Okay, so we have your noun, topic marker wa, location, locative marker ni, then imas. What's the negative counterpart of imas? Yes, so replace mas with masen. So it becomes imasen. Very good. Then, if you want to make an interrogative sentence, so we have doko ni imasu ka? So you put the interrogative noun, remember, at the B part. Okay, doko ni imasu ka? Then, how about our next pattern, the niga pattern? Okay, so here, again, you're focusing on the noun. Okay, so you have your location first, locative marker ni, the noun, your topic, the marker ga, and then imas. Then again, if it's the negative, yes, imasen. If you want to make interrogative sentences, okay, so you replace the noun with the interrogative noun dare because you are talking about a person. So who? So dare ga imasu ka? Then again, don't forget your interrogative marker ka. Again, the difference with the wani pattern and the niga pattern. So in your wani pattern, you're focusing on the location of your subject or your topic, the living thing, the topic, okay? Then in your niga pattern, you are focusing on the topic or the subject of your sentence, okay? So let's try to create some sample sentence of our own, okay? Then afterwards, we will be answering the activity in your book to practice, okay, minasan? Hi, very good, everybody. So I remember to study and review all of the patterns we have discussed today, and we will review them first thing in our next meeting, okay? Okay, so see you next week, guys. That's it for today.